A guy to me that I think, in terms of the draft talking heads and the mock draft experts, is really flying under the radar, but maybe a lot of NFL scouts and executives are really starting to catch up and realize that, hey, this guy needs a second look. This guy may be better than we originally envisioned. And that's Josh Huff out of the University of Oregon. When I look at Josh Huff, initially when I heard people buzzing about him and talking about the fact that he was working out well and this is a guy to watch maybe in the fourth round, I'm like, I've never really paid much attention to him. I didn't think he was that good of a prospect. So when I actually took the time to start watching him and delving more into what he brought to the table, I came away very impressed, frankly. And I see a guy that could be a big time weapon out of the slot and sometimes even, yes, on the outside at the NFL level. Here's a guy who's about 5'11", so he doesn't have great size, but I think he plays a little bit bigger than that size when he needs to, when he lines up on the outside. But the great thing about him, and where he's ultimately, I think, going to make his living at the National Football League level, his ability to line up in the slot, his willingness to go over the middle and make the tough catch, be able to get some yards after the catch, and be able to stretch the field vertically on opposing defenses, whether it be out of the slot or even on the outside. When you look at him, some people might say, well, it's the system he played at Oregon, and that's going to be a question about him. He doesn't have that great size. He has good speed, but he doesn't have great speed. He has good quickness, but he doesn't have tremendous quickness. He's solid in the open field after the catch, but he's not explosive. But damn it all, this is a productive guy. This is a guy that really stood out to me, and I was actually, frankly, like I said, surprised. And I think he's one of the more underrated prospects in this 2014 NFL draft at the wide receiver position. And again, maybe that comes from the fact that this is such a deep and talented, loaded wide receiver class that certain guys kind of slip under the radar a little bit. But I can assure you, as teams have gone through the Senior Bowl process and the Combine process, the Pro Day process, going back and reviewing film, I guarantee you that some teams have come away very impressed with the Josh Huff. And I would not be surprised to see him go anywhere in the third round. In fact, I have him rated as a second to third round prospect. And the reason being is I see a guy that could be a multi-dimensional, easy for me to say, weapon out of the slot. He can make the tough catches over the middle. He can also stretch the field vertically and create some big-time plays that way. I thought he had really good hands, and he showed an ability to make the tough catch, to go up to the highest point and win the jump ball, actually. For a guy that's 5'11", that was very impressive. The closest comparison I could come up to with him, honestly, was a Wes Welker, who's maybe more quick than fast, but has more than enough quickness, is a good enough route runner, and has good enough hands, or at least Welker used to have good enough hands, to be a trusted, relied upon weapon by a quarterback at the National Football League level. Again, I think he's somebody that is a late second to mid third round prospect. I might have him rated a little higher than some others, but as I watched him more and more, I thought he played bigger than 5'11". I thought, when I'm watching him, he played like somebody who was 6'1", 6'2", and 215 pounds. He did. He did. So I came away very impressed with them, and I think a team that ultimately drafts him in need of a slot wide receiver is going to come away very impressed with their decision when all is said and done.